Hi, I'm Teresa from Cuppa Tea Quilting. We are doing the Block 8 video for the lazy angle. This is a sample of what a Block 8 looks like. And this is actually lots of different steps. It starts with, this was our A, and then we're adding 1, 2, 3 different B's. So by now, you already know how to cut your A and your B shape, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. This is the pattern and the directions. And if you go to my Facebook page, Cuppa Tea Quilting, you will join the Lazy Angle Gals page, and all of these patterns and such are there. So that is the pattern. This is the block that we're going to be making today. We're going to start off with the blue is the A. So here's the A shape. The first step you're going to do, this is a right A. We are going to add a right B. We're going to sew those together. Remember the dog ears. You've got 1 dog ear, 2, and 3, and you want to have them all about the same size. And when I start sewing, I start from this little valley right here, and I sew my 1/4 of an inch all the way down, and your goal is to end up in this little valley right there. So I'll go and sew that, and then I'll come back and show you step number 2. Okay, so this was the first step. There's your A to your B. We sewed that down and we ironed them. We're gonna press the seams open because we're starting to add a lot of B shapes. So it's better to press them open because you're gonna have a lot of bulk in some areas. So the next step, I'm now on step 2 on my pattern, and we are adding a left B. So that means I have to cut this to a left A, which means the pretty side is down, and I need to rotate this to where the pattern says, so my orange is now on the bottom. And I'm gonna recut this, and this is a 6.5 inch strip. So we're gonna have the 6.5 inch number lined up. And what I do, sometimes when you're sewing, you're gonna have, this is not perfectly even. So you look at your dotted lines, and I've got my dotted seam allowance line pointed to that other seam allowance that's already in that corner. And that's how I know where I'm gonna cut it off. So now I'm gonna just cut off. And this is not a B, this is just the extra, because the B has the blunt end on there. So now I've got my left A facing to the left. So my step number 2 is going to be adding this little blue guy, the B, flipping it over. You've got a dog ear on the bottom, and then you've got the dog ears on that corner there. I will sew from here all the way down, and then I'll come back and I'll add our last step. Okay, here we are. That's what we have so far. We are now adding our last right B facing the right. So this stays upright, right side up, right side B. We're gonna cut this to another A. So now, this was the block that I wanted it to emulate right here. So I need to rotate this so that the blue is up in the corner because I'm adding there. So that's my A. So now I'll move this out of the way. Find my 6.5 inch mark again. This is what I'm chopping off. And I keep my ruler still, and I move that extra off in case my blade is not sharp and I need to recut again. And this is the last step. So I will take this to the sewing machine, come back with this sewn, and then I'll show you how to sew all the blocks together. Okay, here we are. We're all put back together. The number 4, whichever you use for your last one, that's what becomes the center. So here is block 8, called the medallion block. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Again, go to my Facebook page, Cuppa Tea Quilting, and see all the rest of the videos. Thanks.